Well, now the only one that matters is the Stanley Cup. Um, I'd love to win another Vezina. That would be great, but, it's time.
Connor Hellebuyck is playing out of his mind this year. The clear-cut Vezina favorite at this point in the season, playing out of this world, putting the NHL world on notice. There was some uncertainty this offseason if Connor Hellebuyck would remain a Jet. There was a lot of teams calling, but they got scared off by the price tag of, a Vezina caliber goaltender, and they were a little worried, Connor Hellebuyck at the age he is he going to be able to be a Vezina caliber goaltender for, 7 years, making $8, $9, $10 million. Teams were scared off by the asking price of him and his agent. And, at this point, I think there's a lot of teams out there that really wish they had invested in Connor Hellebuyck because he is having the best season of his career right now. And this is ridiculous. The stats are crazy. Through 32 games played, this man has put up 22 wins. He's posted 2 shutouts with a .219 goals against average and a .925 save percentage. Now, we've been used to Connor Hellebuyck being incredible for years now, but this is undeniably ridiculous, even for his standards. He's usually top 3 in the league almost every season, with the exception of last year. And now with his shiny new deal that he has this season, he has started off with a bang. And there's really nobody else trailing Connor Hellebuyck right now to win the Vezina. The only goaltenders that I think stand a chance of maybe challenging Hellebuyck is Thatcher Demko. He's got a pretty similar save percentage, but his goals against average is much higher than Hellebuck's. It's at a .247, but that's not even that bad, to be honest. That's pretty good. But Hellebuck's just on that much of a heater right now. Connor Hellebuyck is the man. Got recognized as an all-star, so I'm happy that he's getting his flowers. He deserves it. He's putting on a clinic this year, and with good defense in front of him, it just makes it that much easier for him to do his job. And I don't know. This guy is on a different level this season. So now that we look at those stats, it feels kind of crazy that teams wouldn't be paying for Connor Hellebuyck. And I know, hindsight is 2020. However, come on, man. You didn't think Hellebuyck was going to have a good season. You didn't think he was going to go out there and ball out like he's been doing his entire career. He's been one of the most consistent players in the NHL since he came in. So now we're going to be looking at a lot of these teams that, were reportedly interested in Hellebuyck, but did not pull the trigger. We're going to start off with the New Jersey Devils, and their goaltending situation has really sunk them this year. There was a team last season that was, really on the brink of being a Stanley Cup contender, maybe 1 or 2 pieces away, and that one piece seemingly was goaltending and, maybe another forward or defenseman up front there, right? Well, they failed to add the goaltender. They ran with Vitek Vanacek, and he has run them into the ground this season. He's been horrible. Akira Schmid also has failed to continue the success from last season. As if we look at the stats here, they are horrible. He has not been the guy that he was last season. A lot of people thought that he may be the future starter there for New Jersey, and I think that has been put to bed as I just don't see it. Akira Schmid is not that guy. Neither is Vitek Vanacek, and I just wonder where the Devils would be if they had good goaltending. I mean, you see Nico Daws even went in there. Nico Daws isn't winning you a Stanley Cup, isn't getting you in the playoffs either, so I think New Jersey fumbled this one for sure. They had the cap to get him, and they just did not go out and spend the assets to acquire a all-world goaltender. The Devils are a good team, however, they're fighting for a wildcard spot right now. This is probably a team that was expected to be maybe one of the better teams in the East, especially after last season, acquiring Timo Meier and everything like that, but the mix of goaltending and just not being able to keep the puck out of their net, be playing responsible defensively, has really tanked them this season, and with that, they have fallen out of, I don't want to say relevancy. I still think they're a pretty relevant team, but they're definitely fighting for their lives right now. Definitely not a lock for being a playoff team this year, like we all thought they would be. So yes, the New Jersey Devils have been disappointing this season, and to continue on with the theme of disappointing, let's look at the Buffalo Sabres, who have, again, one of the worst goaltending duos this season, and have really tanked them in what we really thought was going to be a playoff season for them. Last year it didn't come to fruition. They were a really fun team last year, really fun young team, and this year we thought that we were getting, playoff Buffalo. We thought we were getting playoffs in Buffalo. Who would have thought that was going to happen, 4 or 5 years ago? but the goaltending just has not been up to par. They refuse to spend the assets on a guy like Connor Hellebuyck, and it has bit them big time in the ass. They've got kind of a 1A, 1B thing going on right now as they kind of split the starts between UPL and Devin Levi. Levi this season, he just really has not been that good. 3.32 goals against average with an .889 save percentage. Not good enough. That has to get better. He will be really good one day, but still super young. Maybe not totally NHL ready yet. Maybe, you know, should be playing a little bit less games at the young age that he is. UPL, you know, a guy that I think they were hoping a little bit more out of. 2.77 goals against average with a .906 save percentage, so definitely not moving the needle much in terms of winning games, and that's shown this year for Buffalo as they're one of the worst teams in the league this year. I know Tage Thompson has been out for a lot of the season, but you know, this is a young team that has a ton of potential, and they just have not been able to really capitalize on it this year, and it's been a little bit disappointing, but I do think they will bounce back. However, they are still going to have to search for that goaltender because UPL, definitely not that guy. Is Devin Levi that guy right now? I'm not so sure. I think he needs maybe a year or two to kind of pan out a little bit, kind of, you know, get comfortable in the NHL. Young goaltenders playing well in the NHL are extremely rare. I mean, Connor Hellebuyck didn't break onto the scene until he was like 25 years old. So, you know, with Devin Levi being like 21 or 22, whatever he is, he's still got room to grow there, and I believe he will, but if the Buffalo Sabres are looking to win now, he is not the answer, and neither is UPL. Now, the Kings up next here, they're not a disappointing team by any means. I think that Cam Talbot's actually been pretty good in goal for them this season. However, I do want to laugh at the fact that they did not trade for Connor Hellebuyck, but they traded for Pierre-Luc Dubois. They really thought that he was going to come in and, you know, be that guy. He really has not been. He still has a ton of time to turn that around. He's still a younger player. But if he doesn't, you know, in a few years, I think we're going to be looking back at the offseason that could have been for the LA Kings. And at the end of the day, this is just kind of a dumb thing for me to say, but I just want to laugh at the Pierre-Luc Dubois trade. Every chance I get, I love to bring up that trade. But overall, you know, there's a lot of teams that were really interested in Connor Hellebuyck this offseason, but did not pull the trigger. And at the end of the day, they probably wish they had done that trade. You know, I could even talk about Toronto. I don't know how they would fit Hellebuyck's deal under the cap. You know, they really banked on Ilya Samsonov this year, and that has not worked out for them. They're running like Martin Jones and Wall, and I just don't think that's good enough to win a Stanley Cup. We'll see what they do at the trade deadline, but there will be no Connor Hellebuycks available at, you know, the trade deadline this season. But with that said, everyone, I am going to hop on out of here. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, leave a comment down below. What do you guys think about Connor Hellebuyck's season this year? How incredible is Connor Hellebuyck? I want to hear your guys' thoughts, opinions, and everything, and maybe some of the other teams that maybe I missed in this video that should have acquired him. So I want to hear about all that down below. Leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. The channel has been growing at a rapid rate, so, you know, hello to everyone new. Really appreciate the support on everything, so keep on watching. Primarily a Jets channel here, but I will do some NHL content every once in a while. Some new series are going to be hitting the channel in the next couple of weeks, so I hope you guys are excited for those. But that's it for me. Go Jets go. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.